Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of History in This. Today, we are at Kameoka Shrine at Hirado Castle, Hirado, Nagasaki Prefecture, Japan. My name is Mio. I am a high school student at Yukokan Senior High School, which is within the outer walls of this castle. Today, we are stepping away from history again and I am making my first presentation of Japanese culture. I am telling the story of Ubazakura, the cherry tree of the milk nurse. This is a traditional Japanese ghost story taken from the book Kwaidan by Lafcadio Hearn, who is known by Japanese people as Koizumi. The story is perhaps 430 years old, and Han recorded it is in his book around 1900. The style of English in this story shows the educated style of writing at that time. 425 years ago, in the village called Asamimura, in the district called Onsengori, in the province of Iyo, there lived a good man named Tokubei. This Tokubei was the richest person in the district and the muraosa or headman of the village. In most matters he was fortunate, but he reached the age of 40 without knowing the happiness of becoming a father. Therefore, he and his wife, in the affliction of their childlessness, addressed many prayers to the divinity Fudomyo-o, who had a famous temple called Saihoji in the Asamimura. At last their prayers were heard. The wife of Tokubei gave birth to a daughter. The child was very pretty, and she received the name of Tsuyu. As the mother's milk was deficient, a milk nurse called Osode was hired for the little one. Otsuyu grew up to be a very beautiful girl, but at the age of 15 she fell sick, and the doctors thought that she was going to die. In that time, the nurse Osode, who loved Otsuyu with a real mother's love, went to the temple Saihoji and fervently prayed to Fudo-sama on behalf of the girl. Every day, for 21 days, she went to the temple and prayed, and at the end of that time, Otsuyu suddenly and completely recovered. Then there was great rejoicing in the house of Tokubei, and he gave a feast to all his friends in celebration of the happy event. But on the night of the feast, the nurse Osode was suddenly taken ill, and on the following morning, the doctor who had been summoned to attend her announced that she was dying. Then the family, in great sorrow, gathered about her bed to bid her farewell. But she said to them, "It is time that I should tell you something which you do not know. My prayer has been heard. I besought Fudo-sama that I might be permitted to die in the place of Otsuyu, and this great favor has been granted me. Therefore you must not grieve about my death. But I have one request to make. I promised Fudo-sama that I would have a cherry tree planted in the garden of Saihoji. Cherry tree planted for a thank offering and a commemoration. Now I shall not be able myself to plant the tree there, so I must beg that you will fulfill that vow for me. Goodbye, dear friends, and remember that I was happy to die for Otsuyu's sake." After the funeral of Osode, a young cherry tree, the finest that could be found, was planted in the garden of Saihoji by the parents of Otsuyu. The tree grew and flourished, and on the 16th day of the second month of the following year, the anniversary of Osode's death, it blossomed in a wonderful way. So it continued to blossom for 254 years, always upon the 16th day of the second month, and its flowers, pink and white, were like the nipples of a woman's breasts and bedewed with milk. And the people called it Ubazakura, the tree of the milk nurse.